Makes so much sense that our children suffer less when they're left out from a plan than us. Why? Because ignorance is bliss. They're not thinking what we're thinking. We know how does it feel. We know what could happen next. And we put all of that in the idea of the future of our children. We catastrophize the future of our children every time things like this happen. Why? Because we fear, and we need to look into our own fears. Our fears are ours. They don't belong to our children, and we have the tendency of teaching our fears to our children. Take a look of what drives your behavior. What are the fears? Is it a fear of abandonment, of being alone, or failure? Think about it. We have to break that. There's a conversation in our brain constantly happening automatically to not go into that state of mind, but it's impossible. We will feel alone sometimes, we will fail for sure, and sometimes we're gonna feel that other people don't look at us the way we want them to look at us. It's normal, so we have to change running our lives and do it with a philosophy of life. Why do you wake up every morning? Why do you go to work? Why do you raise your children? How do you wanna live that life and be in that moment? You know, it should be more about connection, about contributing something to this world, about, you know, maybe feeling love, which is different. I want people to love me. It's very different than I want to feel love. Completely different approach. And how can we really help our mind any time that is in that running mode against fear and changing it? Because sometimes there's no reason to fear. We go through life like, you know, running away from what? Nobody's out there following you. We're not in war. There's nothing wrong with your children because he was left out. There's nothing wrong with your children because he didn't get an A, or maybe, you know, things went wrong in school. But our mind puts that there and puts so much pressure that it's very hard to enjoy that moment with our children. And the worst part for me is really our ability to transmit fear to their children. That's the worst. You know, and we do that when we don't focus on the here and now. Fear is important as long as it's communicating something that belongs to the moment. And that's what we can do in our mind. Let's change the narrative. Let's change the narrative to what's real and do something about it. A narrative in your mind that is truly helping you get something that is good for you, and not a narrative in your mind that is helping you to run away from something that is not truly happening. Helping the mind to differentiate between what's real and not real, what's necessary and what's not necessary.